angels, and welcome back to my channel Dr. Girl. And I hope you all are enjoying here, and I hope you all are good and safe and sound at your home, right? So now, in continuation with Fmge series, I brought this new video where I'll tell you what did I use for my preparation in Fmge for the major subjects or the clinical subjects that have a lot of weightage, that around 32 marks ka weightage in the examination. So without any further delay, let's get started. Starting with the very first subject and my favorite subject of all, that is the obstetrics and gynecology. So I am seeing myself as a future gynecologist, like seeing that and having that dream in my mind. I started studying obstetrics and gynecology, and I studied obstetrics and gynecology from standard textbooks also and from my notes also. So the teacher that I followed for this entire period is Dr. Sakshi, and secondly Dr. Amit Gupta. So these both teachers were my whole and soul for the entire preparation that I have done for my obstetrics and gynecology. So I have a big book of obstetrics and gynecology. So I prepared my own notes, and also I studied standard textbooks like Shaw's and Datta's. So I used to refer to them because if I don't understand anything, but I studied offline for my obstetrics and gynecology subject. So Dr. Amit and Dr. Sakshi, they both were my mentors for obstetrics and gynecology. I am so happy to see them as a gynecologist, and I also see myself in that place that I also want to be a gynecologist. So that is why I used to study this subject with such a keen mind and with full concentration, because I also wanted to know that how to handle this kind of emergency, or how to do the labor, and what is the meaning of episiotomy, or whatever the question comes, right? So as you know, this is a clinical subject, and this carries 30 marks weightage in the examination. So there are a lot of questions that are asked from these subjects in the Fmge examination. So I was also so tensed because I knew that this is a bigger subject and I have to do multiple revision in the subjects, or else I won't get it through, right? And they also integrate these subjects with other subjects, so you have to study the subjects in that manner. You have to study them clinically and not just from the textbook, right? So I use this author's textbook also, and my notes, and also the MCQs that are provided from the review book of obstetrics and gynecology. So yeah, I also studied that. So I made sure that obstetrics and gynecology is on my quote in Fmge exam, right? So I use these many things for studying the vast subject that is obstetrics and gynecology. Next subject is surgery. Now for surgery, I had Dr. Pritesh Singh's lecture. I used it from Prep Ladder, and for surgery I also had offline coaching from MIST by Dr. Vineet Gupta. Now he is the best because the study pattern he teaches is in the form of poetry. Now what he does is he takes his class, and then for revision section he is doing this kind of poetry section where we sing song along with him. And आपको तो पता ही है, अगर हम कोई चीज़ का गाना 10-15 बार सुन लेते तो हमें वो गाना भी याद हो जाता है. So similar fashion he had that mentality that अगर हम गाना याद कर सकते हैं multiple songs, right? So हम पढ़ाई भी उसी वे में याद कर सकते हैं. So that type of rhythm he used to give, that type of poetry he used to like make those notes in a form of poetry form. So that is why it was very helpful for me attending the offline classes from MIST. So I made the notes for surgery, and for surgery also you can refer to standard textbooks. There is nothing that you cannot refer to standard textbook. You can, but I didn't have that much time. So for surgery I literally didn't refer to any standard textbooks, only the notes and the revision sections by sir, and the online Prep Ladders test series. I used only that much, and Fmge solution mein se I solved the MCQs related to surgery. So what I used to do is, for this bigger subject, now surgery also comes for around 32 marks in the examination. Again, this is a clinical subject. Again, this is a subject which has a higher weightage. So you have to study this from everywhere possible, because they ask you in a way or in a fashion which is integrated. Again, they ask you also one liners from this. They will mix and match the subject, right, in every subject. So you have to study it in that manner. For surgery, the standard textbook I used was S Das. I also have it now because I bought only very few standard textbooks that I needed in my further studies also. So I used only it for obstetrics and gynecology. I have for anatomy, and then I have for surgery, so and I have for internal medicine and all that. So only बहुत नामी standard textbooks मैंने खरीदे थे. I didn't buy too much because I didn't have that much time. But if you are a third year student, I suggest you start with this bigger subjects, start studying them from the very beginning. For obvious reasons, you cannot score out of marks because the subject is integrated to some or the other subject. So it is like sometimes you will tend to forget. It's not direct question. So पढ़ते time तो when you study obviously directly पढ़ते हैं हम लोग, but when the question comes, it comes in a form of 5 to 6 sentences. Clinical आता है पूरा. So they mix and match, ये बीमारी वो बीमारी. So you have to be thorough with everything, and you have to always study it in a form of clinical fashion rather than studying in just notes, right? So like that you have to make your mind. So the next subject is medicine, the king of all subjects, and I studied it from the king of medicine, that is Dr. Deepak Marwa, offline and online both. Only one teacher I referred is Dr. Deepak Marwa. I didn't even go to any other teacher's book or any other teacher's lectures to study medicine because I don't trust anybody when it comes to medicine. I only have full faith on Dr. Deepak Marwa because he can teach all 19 subjects if you want. So that kind of like interest or that kind of vision that Dr. Deepak Marwa has, no one else have. So I studied entirely the medicine from him. I used to also take some guiding tips from him because I was sometimes very depressed, and still we are in contact, and we are in like I take tips from sir wherever I'm confused or wherever I need his guidance. I always like text him that sir, please help me on this, or I'm not able to understand this. So he's now also he's such a helpful person. So I just am so happy that he is with like he has taught me and he has been my mentor in the due course, and I'm so blessed to like have a mentor like him, right? So I studied medicine from him, and I absolutely didn't study anything from like the standard textbook, that is internal medicine ka standard textbook, the Harrison that you say. It's very important, and it's very heavy book and very big book. I cannot finish that entire book in like I don't know, in my life I can say I can never study that much, I think so, because it's a very heavy book and it's like like ocean hai. I don't know what to pick and study, right? So I have the Harrison book, but I didn't refer it that much. I used to do it in my like when I used to not understand some things in Russian language and I was confused. I used to do that time when I was there in Russia. But here when I came here, no, I absolutely studied only Dr. Deepak Marwa's notes, and I went for the examination. I only saw his video lectures and YouTube lectures and some test and discussion, because I had joined his classes also later. Like I had joined Fmge solution test and discussion, and the book that is Fmge solution, he's also written that book, the MCQ book. So I referred that bus. I didn't do anything else, and anything extra is also not required, because the way Dr. Deepak Marwa teaches is like he integrates each and everything. Even if you get only the test and discussion, or even if you only get the glimpse of sir, he will integrate everything in that one lecture. So you're thorough. If you study medicine right from Dr. Deepak Marwa, you're thorough with your pedia, you're thorough with your surgery, you're thorough with other small subjects that you don't even want to study or are not interested in, right? So there are people who are doing the internal medicine in their fields. I have my colleagues doing that. So now when I see back and I focus that okay, I studied the medicine for like for my Fmge preparation, I was like very scared, because medicine is a subject that it is asked everywhere, and it is also difficult to remember these many things in a single day, right? So and it also carries a weightage. Like medicine has like the entire paper also can come from medicine. You can just not imagine that how much weightage medicine will have, or how much weightage the subject will have. They tell that it is 30 marks, but I think that if you study medicine, you will study each and everything. Like if it is all integrated with medicine, right? So please start, if you are a third year student and studying a way before the examination, please start studying medicine from like Harrison, and also take Dr. Deepak Marwa's classes. Now also Deepak Marwa sir is traveling internationally and taking classes. You, if you have that opportunity and you can join him, so I recommend you. He is the king of medicine and no one can teach medicine like him. Then we have the last subject that has a heavy weightage in examination, that is PSM. So in PSM there is important updates that you have to study. Now what happens is, in PSM regularly keeps on updating, so you have to also be updated with that knowledge. For that you can follow FB pages, Instagram pages, where or Dr. Vivek Jain's pages. So I studied PSM from Dr. Vivek Jain, so you can also do that. He is also absolutely the best faculty for PSM, because he teaches through and through. He teaches everything. He also has one book that is some MCQs from PSM karke. So he has that blue color book that is available in the market. So all these books are available at Delhi and Delhi bookstores, and also big bookstores where you can order, or also nowadays they are available on Amazon and all this stuff, from where you can order that things, right? So but I was in Delhi and I got the hold of these books there and there itself. Then later when I came back home and I started preparing for my second attempt, so I did it from the books I had already. So you can order them if you want, or if you are internationally, so if you come to holidays like in India, you can visit Delhi and take this book, or you can order online also. They have international deliveries as well. You can just check on the websites and you can get the books from there, right? So I was talking about PSM. So now PSM is also a factual based, but has a lot of weightage. Now as COVID has come in these days, so we are also getting questions from COVID, and PSM is explaining the entire COVID very correctly. PSM and micro, you can study this both for getting all your questions solved for the COVID-19. So now PSM has a lot of weightage because it has image based question also, it has direct question also, it can also come in clinical, right? So it can integrate also, it can have direct question, it can have one liners, it can have factual, it can have image based, right? So you have to study PSM like this in a wider section, right? So you can solve the MCQs, you can revise, you can study the PYQs, and then you can study your notes. So I did the same way. So I studied PSM from Dr. Vivek Jain. You can also study PSM from whatever source you feel. I didn't do any standard textbooks for PSM because it is like vast and it is like boring also. It sometimes becomes monotonous, so I didn't refer to any standard textbooks. But you can, we have community medicine books available outside, but I don't know because I didn't refer. You can use that, but I suggest that you can take a very good mentor for studying PSM and just follow his notes. And I think Dr. Vivek Jain notes will contain each and every information that you will require for your FMG preparation of PSM subject, so you can follow that. Thank you so much for watching till the end and gathering all the knowledge and joining us for this series. So now if you want to watch other episodes on this series on this channel, you will have a playlist where I have listed all the FMG series videos out there. And also if you have any suggestions on FMGE, or if you want me to do some exciting videos on FMG, kindly comment in the comment section. And if you are new here, hi, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. This will motivate me and it will help me reach the target that I'm aiming for on this YouTube channel. So please subscribe and hit the bell icon right next to it and join the family. I hope I'm not boring you, and I'll bring more and more stuff that my audience want to see and are interested in. So thank you so much for watching, and bye bye. See you in my next one.